To the Paulie G Show, coming to you live from high atop Mount Georgia. How are you today? Glad to be back with you on this early fall. Actually, it's not fall yet, but it's pretty close. Mid-September, Saturday afternoon. Before I get started here, a quick update on the Epiphone J200. Out of here. I sold that guitar this week to a local customer, which was great because it gave her the opportunity to try the guitar out before she bought it. She loved it and I didn't, so that worked out wonderfully for both. A good deal is when both parties are happy. And in this case, both parties are happy. I didn't want the guitar and she loved it, so perfect. All's well that ends well. So, Gibson SG. So, of all the guitars that I have longed for, lusted after, desired, very low to no on that list has ever been an SG. And, there's a few reasons for that, in no particular order, but I guess the first would be the fact that when this guitar came out in '61, it was called the Les Paul. Believe it or not, Gibson was having trouble selling Sunburst 1959 and 1960 Les Pauls. They're selling for about $500,000 each now, but back in those days, people didn't want them, strangely. So Gibson came up with this rather devilish, I think, looking body style, and they put the Les Paul name on it, and Les Paul hated it. He didn't want his name on it, and he battled with Gibson over it. And they wound up taking his name off of it, and they put their creative thinking caps on and came up with the coolest, most creative name they could, which was SG, which stands for Solid Guitar. So, must have spent a lot of time thinking about that. But that's the name that it got, and it has been the SG for most people when you see this body style ever since. They never really think of it as a Les Paul, unless you're lucky enough to own one of those early ones, which would be a very, very cool thing indeed. Anyway, I got to thinking around the beginning of this year that maybe I should get over my SG phobia. And let me say another reason that I'm not that crazy about them is the neck joint is really in a strange place. So you'll see that it joins the body, right around the 20th fret. So it's great for soloing up here. You got all this access real easy. But I don't play a lot of solos. I'm not a good lead player. I'm not even really that great of a rhythm player, to be honest with you. But it puts the lower positions way out here. It almost feels like a bass neck to me. So I never really could get comfortable with that, that reach. You build a lot of muscle memory if you play a regular sort of standard, configured guitar, and now I'm finding myself out of position, and it's just going to take some getting used to. I know that, So I've only had the guitar, less than a day, so it's going to take a little time to get used to that. But that was another reason that I just wasn't really that psyched about getting an SG. I guess the last reason, and these are no particular order, is that, you know, the SG to me doesn't really have a distinctive sound to it, right? Like, you know, Strat, you hear a Strat and you know it's, most of the time, you know it's a Strat, you know, like a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of sound. Or a Les Paul, you know, or a Gretsch. They're kind of easily identifiable if you know what to listen for. SG for me never really said that. I never really heard a recording without seeing the player. It's like, you know, that's got to be an SG. You know, those thoughts just never crossed my mind. But a lot of my heroes play them. You know, Pete Townsend, you know, Carlos Santana. Certainly Angus Young has done some amazing things with them. But, you know, it just wasn't one that I wanted. But I said to myself, you know, I really think I should maybe try one at some point. So I was at Norman's Rare Guitars last week in Los Angeles. It was great to be back there to see Norm. He's doing well. He's not in the store all day, but he comes in just about every day, and it was great to just have a quick conversation with him. He looks great, and he's feeling pretty good. And to see the rest of the folks there, it's always fun to go to Norm's. It's a very exciting place, and you never know who's going to pop in while you're there. I never really seem to run into any rock stars there, but they're there all the time, so maybe you'll have better luck, you know, than I usually do. I've been there a number of times, and my timing has been off, you know, on that. But it was great to be there, and I was poking around, and I saw this SG. It was brand new, and I picked it up, plugged it in, started having some fun with it, and I said, you know, this could be the time, you know, because I wanted to buy something at Norm's again. I have a number of guitars I bought there. And I've been saying I wanted an SG. There wasn't really anything else there that was, you know, pulling me in, other, you know, stuff that I could afford. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that I really wanted very badly that I cannot afford. But this was, you know, a lot more affordable from that respect. So here we are. And it's the classic, you know, cherry, 60s cherry finish. And the pickups are the PAF style humbuckers. And it's a great guitar. I mean, it sounds really good. It's nice and light, and, you know, it's really comfortable. It's a little neck heavy when you strap it. But, you know, I'm happy with it, and I'm going to keep it for a while, and we'll see. You know, is it going to be a fall in love with guitar? I don't know yet. You know, we'll see about that. But I'm glad to finally have gotten over my, you know, SG persecution and gotten one of these, and I'm having some fun with it. So wanted to make a quick video, talk about that, and I think maybe the next video I do, no promises, but I want to get into Telecasters. I have a couple of real hot rod Telecasters that we can talk about. One of them is right behind me, actually. And talk a little bit about Teles. But that's it for today, and I want to say thank you again for tuning in. The channel is growing nicely, which is really a lot of fun. I hope to keep it growing and keep bringing in cool, you know, stuff to show and open discussions, hopefully, in the chat. So until next time, this is Paulie G reminding you that when it comes to guitars, you only need one more. See you next time.